What happened to Infinity Nikki? I've seen screenshots of the Infinity Nikki Reddit, and it's like worse than Tribe 9 or Black Beacon. It's like insane doom posting. Does anybody have like the full context of what they did? I don't actually know. Let me actually see it. There's got to be a YouTube video. 511,000 views. Holy shit.
One of my favorite games.
Jesus Christ. This is a 25K subscriber channel, chat, that hit 511K views. They must have cooked them. Holy shit.
Managed to destroy its goodwill in the space of just a few days. While the rest of the gacha space is forever on fire for various reasons, Infinity Nikki had been an oasis of calm. It was never going to last, since these games tend to start off with a bang to attract new players and then slowly degrade over time. But a mere 5-month-long honeymoon period was far shorter than anyone would have guessed. If you think the state of Wuwa, Genshin, Star Rail, or any of the others has been bad, Infinity Nikki right now makes all those other situations look kinda chill. Some might argue that it's bad to highlight this whole thing, but I think that's short-sighted. I love this game, and I want it to thrive. And for that to happen, Infinite needs to hear the concerns of their players. The more people who are aware of it, the better. Before we get into the details, let's give a little context for anyone unfamiliar. Infinity Nikki is an open-world dress-up gacha game. Unlike the other open-world gachas, it has very basic combat, and instead, its focus is on cozy exploration in an absolutely incredible open world. Puzzles which range from relaxing to challenging, and very in-depth clothing and fashion systems. You don't pull for characters or weapons, you pull for dresses, hats,
it was sponsored,
jackets, skirts,
but it's like, it was actually genuinely
fun. It has a story, and the setup is appropriately whimsical. It started with Nikki and her companion Momo searching for clothes in her attic. She finds one of her mother's dresses, but it comes to life and pulls the two of them into a portal in a cupboard.
Like, if you don't know about MMO players, chat, the true endgame for all MMO players is playing dress up. Transmogging, outfits, mix and matching, all right? That is the end game of every MMO. For me, a game like Infinity Nikki was like something locked in for me there, because I was like, listen, playing dress up? Okay, I've been here before. I need to make myself look as drippy as possible.
They wake up in an alternate universe where clothes have magical powers and people with a sense of style are respected and revered. This was very Narnia-coded, and it perfectly set the tone right from the opening scene. Everything about the game was chill, beautiful, and just an absolute delight to spend your time in.
I hope scientists
While I am a sucker for exciting combat and love games which have more of a focus on that kind of gameplay, I enjoy other types of games just as much, and Nikki was basically made for me. I didn't have time to make a review when it first came out, and while it's been neither—
I think this is the reason this whole whatever's happening probably hurts so many people so much, because if there's one thing I heard so much recently since Infinity Nikki's release, was so many other people I know, obviously most of them are girls, saying how this game felt like it was made for them. Like, especially like obviously a lot of the female CCs I speak to, they're like, Infinity Nikki, this is it. And then I'd be like, how about Goddess of Victory, Nikki? And they're like, ew. But like, okay, that aside. But they would always talk to me about how just perfect Infinity Nikki was. It was like the game. Seeing this fall off is probably just feels like shit, because it's like, I don't think Infinity Nikki has any competitors, right, in what they do. It is like the only one that is doing this. When you only have one option and that one option goes to shit, it probably makes you feel so much worse. Like, can you imagine a world there was only Genshin, and then let's say Genshin had the fall off of the century and you had no ZZZ, no Wuwa, nothing, no other options, and then you were like, well, Genshin, Dawei just said a slur on live. Genshin's dead. Guess I'll go play Cookie Run Kingdom. You know, like, what do you do, right? It's like, ah, shit.
Top of my to-do list ever since, other more pressing things kept coming first. In terms of genre, I'd actually say it's closest to the legendary 3D platformers of old. It echoes Spyro in particular. I've had so much fun with the platforming mechanics, and the boss fights in particular feel like the evolution of those ideas which have been left untouched by exploration games for far too long. The story did a fantastic job of remaining light-hearted and whimsical, while still diving into darker themes with surprising levels of nuance.
Wow, I did not know they had boss fights with mechanics.
But it still managed to stand out and seemed to trust the audience more than other gachas. And I absolutely loved the dress-up side of things. I have spent countless hours playing The Sims, and I always get sucked into clothing customization in any game. Back when I played Red Dead Online, I happily spent half an hour at a time in the dressing room before actually going out to shoot some cowboys. The clothes in Nikki are absolutely stunning, with a level of detail and craft to them which is legitimately breathtaking at times. And they're actually relevant to the gameplay. I often want a game which will help me just relax, and Nikki was perfect for that. It's also worth noting why I generally had higher expectations for Infold than I do for other developers. Their founder looked at the games being published and saw that there was a gap. None of the other companies seemed to think about what kinds of games would appeal to women in particular.
But I feel like what she just said is the double-edged sword. A corporation found the gap, filled the gap, and then realized we're the only one in that gap. Now you have the monopoly on that gap. Now you could do whatever. So it's like, ah, shit. Like, is that CEO base for seeing that gap and filling it? Sure. But now that he's filled it, he knows what he's got, and he's going to fucking milk that motherfucker. It's like, ah, shit.
An entire half of the potential market which was being mostly ignored. And that isn't to say this game is just for women, or that women don't like all kinds of games, but there was a huge gap in the market for exactly this sort of game. And he was humble enough to recognize that the best people to design games to appeal to women would be—
I don't think Love and Deep Space is the exact same. I think there are other games that are in Love and Deep Space's niche. Love and Deep Space isn't alone. There are a couple others. Love and Deep Space is the biggest by far, but in China and Japan, there are other games like Love and Deep Space that we don't know of as well, like in the global side, but like in that side, like, you guys ever watched the Billy fucking reel of the revenue? You get, bro, remember when we just watch it and there's just like random ass husbando games that are in the top 10? I'm like, what the fuck is that? That's not Love and Deep Space. And it's like, just, they have a lot of otome games that we don't know of that are quite popular over there. So like, Love and Deep Space isn't like Infinite Nikki. It has other competitors. It's not alone. It's just that we know Love and Deep Space the best out of all of them. So
be women themselves, and he built his company with that in mind, to the point that right now, over 70% of the employees at the company are women. This was a logical and calculated strategy, and it worked. I still expected them—
What the fuck is otome? It's basically games that are geared towards women, specifically, right? It's like female protagonists with male love interests. Those are primarily what it's for.
Act like any corporation.
Hard
The
for
gachas
women,
do have a reputation for being on the predatory side after all, likely because they don't really have much competition. But since its founder was able to look past his bias and apply rational, objective logic to the state of the industry at large in order to find a niche which was underserved, I kinda expected the company to continue to be more rational and objective than average. So what happened? As an appetizer, before the main course, we got a little preview of what was to come a few weeks before the update dropped. Infold announced that they would give everyone 10 free pulls if the game reached 100,000 wishlists on Steam, plus an extra surprise for 200,000 wishlists. Once they reached the goal, they tried to change their minds and sent out only 2 pulls for the 100k, with the 10 pulls saved for the higher target and
Whoa, what? That's some snake behavior, bro. What?
and sent out only 2 pulls for the 100k, with the 10 pulls saved for the higher target and the surprise forgotten.
Oh my god, they're trying to milk their community.
This change made the community incredibly angry. The backlash quickly made them backtrack and give out 20 pulls for the combined goals instead. Devs listened, I guess. The version 1.5 update was released at the end of April 2025, a little less than 5 months after the initial release, and it has been a mess on so many levels. The community was so excited for this patch at first. For one thing, this update would see the game release on Steam, making it accessible to a whole new audience. In addition, it was going to be a truly major update. The brand new co-op mode looked like it would be a ton of fun. A new miracle outfit was coming out, kind of similar to an Archon or Sentinel in terms of importance, but always available for free. We were getting extra colors for 4- and 5-star outfits, and the devs were touting it as a big optimization update for mobile users in particular. The new feature I was most excited for was the ability to dye outfits. Up until now, most outfits in the game came in 2 to 4 different colors, and you obtained those different colors by pulling duplicates via the gacha system. The dye system had been trialed in an event in a previous patch, and it provides so much flexibility by letting us recolor any individual item to any of dozens of different colors. It's hard to emphasize to outsiders how awesome that idea is. Half of the fun of the game comes from the joy of creating outfits, and having exponentially more swatches at our fingertips would unlock so much creativity. Unfortunately, the moment we opened the game after the update, we were all confronted by something completely unexpected. A retcon which rendered the entirety of the original story pointless.
What?
New players and veterans alike were shoved into a new intro tutorial the moment they opened the game, which clumsily introduced an unfamiliar goddess who tells Nikki that she's actually an amnesiac space traveler and her world has been destroyed. And of course, everything the original players saw in that OG opening sequence was just wiped from her memory.
Classic amnesiac main character. Oh shit, here we go again. Here we go again. Another one.
The replacement story was disjointed and
unknown
awkward.
god.
It fails to ground itself in anything relatable. It does a poor job of introducing Nikki and her sidekick, and it just fundamentally fails at giving us any reason to care. The destruction of the world, which she no longer remembers, doesn't even matter at all because stuff like that now just happens all the time. Nikki is immortal, and at any point she can just peace out and go to a fresh universe. So literally everything now feels empty and pointless.
What?
This is a perfect example of an age-old trap in storytelling. People think that the wider scope and higher stakes will make for a more impactful story, but humans struggle to emotionally connect to large concepts like the world is at risk, and instead feel far more emotion towards individuals whose story is relatable. We struggle to visualize the suffering of thousands of people.
True. And this is why Zenless Zone Zero has a better story than Honkai.
But the moment we hear just one story, it puts everything into a context we can instinctively understand. I wish people would learn this lesson. It even falls flat as a tutorial. The original opening sequence steadily introduced the core gameplay mechanics in a way which felt natural, logical, and tightly integrated into the narrative. The new one is objectively worse. The new opening sequence is at least visually stunning, but even the graphics are a little glitchy at times with some very obvious clipping, and in the end, the vast majority of fans just despise the fact
Did anybody else think of the scene in Wu for this?
that it exists. And just think about the idea of a retcon for a minute. Whether you play Genshin, Wuwa, Star Rail, or anything else, how would you feel if you got invested in the story over
and then
the course of several
the
months?
singularity in the distance, and it reminds me of HSR Acheron as well.
And then the devs suddenly said, sorry, we're telling a different story now, and none of that stuff you cared about really happened. Even people who were only half interested would probably be upset, and the people who actually liked it would be devastated. And they didn't even announce that anything like this was coming. I had always loved the gentle absurdity of Nikki waking up in this land where clothes have magical powers, and taking it upon herself to solve this crazy comb apocalypse plaguing the world. The game had this beautiful, ethereal quality. The story, the landscapes, the magic, even the light and floaty way that Nikki moves. The whole thing felt like a dream. The Redcon's main purpose seems to be to introduce the idea of alternate universes so that the multiplayer system fits in the lore of the world. It's bizarre that they felt the need to do that in the first place. Co-op doesn't need to be canon. But if they really insist...
Yeah, this is something that irks me a lot in some like gacha games where they feel like everything and anything that gets added to the game has to be canon. And like things can't just be like separate and exist. Like do they think, do these gacha companies think if a person sees something and it isn't immersive and fits into the lore, their like brains might explode? So like they have to perfectly make it like in universe? Like I don't know, man. It's not only gacha companies, a lot of players demand that as well, but why? Like, I feel like not everything has to be fucking canon. I feel like things can just be fun and just wacky, right? Multiverse and Nikki story isn't new, but why add it like that? Yeah, I don't know.
Everyone and their mother's dog understands the idea of alternate universes in any sci-fi or fantasy. It doesn't need an explanation. Or if they had just leaned into the dream aspect as the explanation, then literally nobody would have cared. In a dream, anything goes. It may have had a deeper motivation.
I think this is literally why HSR made Penacony. Because they could just fucking shoehorn anything in. Because it's just a dream, right?
However, some have noted that they no longer market the game as cozy and may instead have hoped to bring in a wider audience.
But I think the way they did it with Penacony is like smart enough.
Then whoever made that
like,
decision just flat out made a huge mistake. Many in the community legitimately want the devs to roll back the update. If they don't, I would be unsurprised if the game loses so many players that it prematurely reaches end of service. And that was just the beginning. This update also unleashed a biblical plague of bugs into the game. Up until now, it had been impressively stable. Despite the incredible level of detail, especially when it came to the clothes, the game was smooth and reliable. And the worst I personally experienced was the rotation controls in the camera mode being broken for a few weeks one time. Some people had their in-game photos wiped at one point, but for the most part, it was a solid launch. After 1.5, a huge chunk of players couldn't even log into the game, and many are still unable to a week after the update. Those of us who can log in have to deal with an absolute mess. Think Wuwa launch day level technical issues, but worse. For some, the game just constantly crashes and is completely unplayable. For the rest of us, it stutters and lags, and at its worst, it takes a second to reconnect to servers many times.
Oh, she a hottie. Who's that?
Sometimes the control, and at its worst, it takes a second.
Ooh, is that Nikki? That's a cute outfit. I like that.
To reconnect to servers many times per minute. Sometimes the
Nikki?
controls simply
like
stop working in-game. I've had to restart my game many times after Nikki stopped responding to controller inputs. The game sometimes freezes when just looking at menus. There have been countless UI bugs across every corner of the game, and the friendless system outright deleted friendships from a lot of people's accounts. The quests are broken for many, some are inexplicably locked, many are entirely missing voiceovers which had previously existed, and cutscenes often fail to trigger, preventing people from completing things. For many who had a cutscene fail to load, the game is effectively soft-locked. They can load up and run around, but they can't do anything now because they're stuck in a quest which fails to end. For some players, the opening tutorial got soft-locked, and since it's completely unskippable, they were effectively unable to even start the game. What a wonderful welcome that must have been for new players excited to finally try it. And of course, even if you did manage to get into the game, those much-hyped co-op features which everyone had been excited for just pretty much did not work at all. And for those of us who played from the start and spent money on the game, I spent £100 on this dress because the game game had brought me so much
Yo, this
joy
kinda
and the outfit
trippy,
was
though.
just sublime. After the update, the dress is bugged. It no longer looks the way it should. This is a minor issue compared to the dumpster fire that is the rest of the game right now, but it really feels like a punch in the gut. The poor devs have been working hard to fix the issues, and the game has become noticeably more stable for me in the past week, but it's still a far cry from how great it ran before this update, and many
Oh, yo,
people
that
are
was
still
kinda
experiencing
sick.
game-breaking issues.
Some
It's
cool-ass new
especially
dresses,
ironic
dress
after they
powers.
hyped up the optimizations they made for this patch. And then there's the monetization. First
Yo,
off,
that's a
that
nice
awesome
dress.
new dyeing feature
Ah,
that I
here she
mentioned, which
goes.
unlocks so much scope for creativity and customization in the game. In the event, which trialed the mechanic, you unlock dyes by collecting materials from the open world. Now that it's a real thing, the materials are rare and currently not farmable. You get them as a reward for certain events and quests. Or you can buy them with real-world money. Worse, each color palette isn't unlocked.
Oh, so they time gate how often you can get this currency. So if anybody gets a new outfit and they're impatient and want to change the color, they have to pay money. Oh, shit, bro. That's how they get you. MMOs, a lot of MMOs have this shit too, where like you have to pay essentially to get dyes and dye packs.
Locked per set, it's per item. At this point, a
I mean, is it predatory? I believe it is, but unfortunately, I think it's also an industry standard for these type of games for customization. It is. It's predatory as fuck, but it's like every game that has customization of your outfits has this. A lot of MMOs have this. Yeah, BDO, bro. I remember the days when I used to play BDO, bro. You could tell when someone's a fucking free to play and when they're not. You want to know how? Because the fucking dyes they would have on their outfits are fucking pasty looking shitters. Meanwhile, if you had paid dyes, they were shiny and cool. So like you're like, oh, that guy's a fucking free to play. He got those fucking free dyes that they sent in the mail, like fucking noob. And then meanwhile, me, I got that fucking golden fucking laced shit that I paid money for. It's like, oh, bro.
collector like me will have several hundred items in the game, and that collection will only increase over time. So we're talking thousands of swatches available. And if you want to unlock all of the palettes, you also need to have the highest evolution of that item. That means that in addition to the premium materials you have to buy with real-world money, you also need to pull for duplicates of the outfit too.
Wait,
If
nah, that's crazy though. So you can't even unlock full color palettes? You don't have full freedom of the color palettes in which you can apply colors? You get access to more palettes per outfit as you get more dupes of that outfit? Nah, bro, that's okay, that's fucked. That's 1,000,000% fucked. You should just at base have access to all colors. And like, oh, nah, listen, I hope later they change that. Yeah, that's insane. Can you imagine? You're like, I want to dye my dress red. Oh, what is that? Red is tied to C6 of the dress. Pull 6 more copies, buddy. It's like, what?
want to be allowed to buy the palettes at all. That means that if you want to have full use of this feature, you'd have to
Oh
buy
my god, unlock after reaching evolution stage 3 and unlocking all other palettes. Wait, so not only would you have to unlock the stage 3 of the outfit, you have to also unlock all the other palettes.
hundreds or even thousands of premium items. And if you're free to play, good luck with that. This feature that everyone was so excited about ended up being insanely
Nah, this
expensive.
is so shit.
But that wasn't even the biggest problem people
Yeah,
had.
you need to do this
understand
for every
the
dress,
implications of the
which is
change that
fucking
many players
ridiculous.
are most upset by, we'll have to quickly explain the game's gacha system. Each outfit has a certain number of items: a dress, a necklace,
No,
shoes,
you know why
socks,
that's
and
even worse? Because I played Infinity Nikki. Sometimes you want to mix and match outfits from different outfit sets, right? And if you want to do that, and you want specific colors on each of those pieces, that means if you're someone who just wants to make one fit based on one specific dress, then sure, you can only just get dupes for that dress and unlock all the colors. But now if you want to mix a different top and a different bottom, then you better fucking unlock that top and that set until the max. And then you better unlock that bottom and that set until the max. And now you can mix them. Like, what the fuck, bro? That's fucking dog shit. That's kind of crazy.
and so on. Most 5-star
Yeah,
outfits
if you want to really do a true mix and match and create your favorite outfit based on whatever you want, you have to like C6, 5 different sets just to fucking get the look you want with the colors you want.
have 9 to 10 items, for example. When you pull, you're guaranteed to get one of these items every 20 pulls, and
Restart
you're
this
also
part? Okay.
excited about that in the game's and the implications of expensive. But that wasn't even the biggest problem people had. To understand the implications of the change that many players are most upset by, we'll have to quickly explain the game's gacha system.
Oh,
Each
shit.
outfit has a certain number of items, a dress, a necklace, shoes, socks, and so on. Most 5-star outfits have 9 to 10 items, for example.
I was
When you
balling
pull,
so
you're
hard on this
guaranteed to
gacha.
get one of these items every 20 pulls, and you're also guaranteed to not get any duplicates until you've collected the entire set. Soft pity is very high.
Cute.
Most of the time it takes around 18 pulls per 5-star item. That means that for every fancy 5-star outfit, it takes up to 200 pulls to get the full set. With
Yup.
soft pity set so high, it was already far less generous than the more popular open world
Yup.
gachas, despite the slightly lower cost of 120 premium currency per pull.
Nah, I remember this because I was trying to get a full set when we were getting sponsored. And I was like, bro, this is so fucking expensive. Just for a full outfit set.
Compared to the usual 160. To make it feel less painful, the game included a system where you collect some rewards for every other 10 pull, which softened the blow. As I mentioned earlier, there are 4 different color versions of each 5-star outfit. You get the second color through this extra reward system after pulling 180 times on the banner, and you get the third after 230 pulls. Still a lot of pulls, but compared to the duplicate systems in other games, it wasn't actually all that bad. The 4th version, however, you get only via the gacha system, so to get all 4 colors, it costs up to 400 pulls. It is worth noting that you're not required to pull the entire outfit to use any individual piece, but you do need every piece if you want to use any special ability it provides. And you can't unlock the 4th color for individual items, so you need the full second set to get those colors. Also, player statistics have suggested that the pull rates for the most valuable pieces, the hair and the dress for example, may be lower, and you're more likely to get them much later on. So, what did they change in this update? They introduced 2 outfits with 11 items. According to speculation, based on some cinematics that they quietly updated, it was originally going to be 10, but at the last minute they added some extra socks, which you can't even see when the dress is equipped. This would be the equivalent of those other games adding a new character who is not any more powerful than the others, but costs an extra 20 pulls to get. People were understandably livid. This increase also means that the premium color palettes are even more expensive than they might have been already. This game is already quite expensive even for a gacha, since the company has zero competition for its target audience. This new outfit's increased price felt like a slap in the face, and people are understandably concerned that this would be just the beginning. What would stop them from adding outfits with even more items in the future? Their other games have had outfits with 17 pieces after all. They also added a bathtub, a mostly cosmetic item which costs $10, but with a label saying its original price is $50 and proclaiming an 80% discount. This is illegal where I live. The game doesn't even have a housing system yet, so it's bizarre that they're adding furniture at all, let alone making it cost real-world money, and that fake discount is unacceptable. This detail might...
the classic battle pass on discount forever in gacha games. Where it's like, is it a fucking discount if it's on discount forever? Has anybody seen gacha game battle passes not on discount? That shit's on discount forever. But it just says it there as if like it's not just a base price. Like, oh my god. They probably want Love and Deep Space kind of money, so the devs have gone rogue. I wonder how much the backlash is. If the backlash is insane enough, right, where like the player base is not buying it, then like the company will probably run it back.
Sound like a small issue,
Yeah,
and they did remove the misleading messaging, but it's jarring to see these kinds of tactics added to the game. It's reminiscent of the worst aspects of the industry, and it sets a very worrying precedent going forward. They also changed the Mirror Crown, a repeatable styling challenge which
But like, I hate that this is kind of what a lot of the gaming industry is becoming. Where they're just like pushing the bar and seeing how far they could fuck their consumers until it's too far, right? It's like Ubisoft with their quadruple A games and like, you know, like naming these fucking prices, and then they got so much backlash. They're like, okay, hold up, maybe we don't go that far. It's like all these games seem to just want to like push the envelope and be like, are they gonna eat this $80 game? How about this $100 game? And then like when the backlash happens, it's like, okay, we won't do that much. All right, hold up, well, we'll stop there. And then like a couple of years later, they'll be like, okay, are they ready for $100 games yet? You know, it's like EA, it's like Nintendo recently. Like all of these companies, they're slowly just edging it and being like, how far can we fuck them? How far? Okay, all right, they're not ready yet. Okay, let's wait another year and try to fuck them harder. All right, and then just like keep doing it. You know, like. It's kind of annoying, and then fans will eat it up saying they did a great job listening. Who knows?
Is the closest thing Nikki has to an Endgame. They left the gameplay intact, and it gives us the same amount of rewards as it did previously. However, while it used to refresh every 2 weeks, after the update it was set to refresh every 3 weeks instead. Essentially, that cut the free-to-play currency from the endgame by a third. They have since rolled back this partially, so that it now refreshes on the 1st and 16th of every month, but
why are they doing all these changes? Like, almost every single change that she has mentioned, there's just like no understandable reason besides just being pure greed. Like, it makes no sense. Like, what the fuck? Who in the board, like, during the meeting for this update, were like, okay, let's do nothing good and just do everything evil.
And they said we
And then
were
they were
greedy
like,
Lamau.
what the hell? Great idea. Let's sign off on this. Like, there's someone, they actually had a meeting about this, and they were like, this is good. Like, what? I don't understand how. Like, she hasn't said a single positive thing about this update. Every single thing is bad. Every single thing is greedy. And someone signed off on this update. Like, what?
People are still unhappy about this, to say the least. It's quite something to see them cut the free-to-play rewards at the same time as they introduce so many things.
I know. Like, okay, like, I feel like the other parts, I could be like, okay, that's corporate greed. But like, when you're that, it's really on the nose when you start cutting down what the week-to-week free-to-play economy is, right? Like, that at that point, you're not even trying to hide it anymore. You're just like, yeah, we are greedy, and we're gonna fucking make sure that you don't have enough currency to afford this shit, so that you're gonna have to swipe more. Like, bro, I don't know, man. They were like, yeah, they're trying to min-max how greedy they are.
Designed to make us reach into our wallets. Naturally, the Nikki community is in uproar. Almost every part of the community has been flooded with complaints.
Bro, I know. I took a peek at the fucking subreddit. My God, brother. I remember I was watching the Black Beacon subreddit here and there every day during its worst times, and it was bad. But like the Nikki one, oh my God, the Infinity Nikki one was like 10x worse. Like,
And as people learned about the Redcon, the bugs, and the changes to the gacha system, their anger built up more and more. Many looked for a way to express their displeasure to the devs in the most effective way possible, and calls for a boycott of the game quickly gained traction, advocating for people to hold back on pulling for the new outfit, at least for the first 3 days, since that will greatly affect the revenue projections. Until they were deleted, of course.
what happened to Black
on the
Beacon?
official
Oh, they fucking decided to use Global as hamsters, and then gave the Chinese server lots of treats, and then said, "Oh, Global, you fucking suck," and didn't give us shit. And then they got fucking shit on by the Chinese community and the global community, and they're like, "Okay, my bad." But then they were like, "It's the publisher's fault," which is like, sure, that's fair, but like, I feel like it's also on the developers to fucking, you know, like, I don't know, keep tabs on the fucking publishers, or, you know, like, get good publishers. But
official Discord and Reddit, as well as in the comments under their official post on their platform.
essentially, the global community for Black Beacon felt like they were being treated like second-class citizens. Meanwhile, CN was getting like free 5-star characters and shit like that. And like CN, when they got a compensation, it was like a 26-day thing in the mail that you could claim. Meanwhile, when Global got compensation, it was like 3-day mail that, or 3-day expiration redemption code that you had to go into the game and redeem, and if you didn't redeem it in those 3 days, you didn't fucking get it.
Platforms, any comments or messages or posts which mentioned the boycott immediately disappeared. Players quickly shifted to the term girl cut instead, and the cycle repeated itself. Some people were even getting banned for mentioning it. This is probably the first time I've seen a global gacha community this united for a cause. There are, of course, still people who defend the corporations and call the players entitled, greedy.
Yeah, nah, pull them up. We gotta see who could defend anything she said here in this video. There's no way. Nah, I don't believe they exist. There's
and
just no way.
spoiled, but for the first time, we're witnessing real unification and collective effort with all
JP
regions
players?
completely
Nah,
in
listen.
agreement.
There's gotta be a
The
limit.
one
You
place
can't
which
defend
isn't
anything
quite
she
so
said here.
vocal is the content creator sphere. While each creator in one of the Nikki programs may have signed a unique NDA which could prevent them from speaking out, everyone I've seen for any game is entirely focused on protecting confidential information only, and would not prevent sharing of an honest opinion about information which is public. If any company ever tried that, I would just refuse to sign unless it changed.
True. I do not sign any fucking contracts that make me unable to say what I think. Like, I'm full on, like, nah. Listen, that shit's ass, okay? Like, it's like the motherfuckers who come into my HSR sponsor stream and like fucking ask me if I don't play certain, if I don't play fucking didn't we have someone that asked me why I don't play Expedition 33 because I'm sponsored by HSR? Like, the fuck does that even mean? Like, that didn't even make sense. Like, at least make it make sense, you know? Like, no, I do not sign any contracts that stop me from saying whatever the fuck I want to say. I straight up in HSR sponsors, I fucking call shit, all right? If it is, okay? Like, it doesn't fucking matter. And I would never sign any game contract that would limit what I could play. That just sounds miserable.
Chances are the creators are keeping quiet on their own accord. Maybe because they haven't experienced bugs.
Is this true? Are the Infinity Nikki creators keeping quiet? Jonathan's, thank you for the prime. They started talking. Was it before or after, like, the backlash started? Well, maybe we'll check.
No
They
worry
spoke
about
about it?
boycotts,
Okay.
or maybe they're worried about some potential consequences in the future if they do speak out, or maybe they just do not want to cover anything which feels too negative. I am in one of these programs due to my Twitch streams, and I have also been collecting my thoughts for a review video which would have absolutely glazed the hell out of this game as one of my favorite games.
I'll say this, right? To give a benefit of doubt for some CCs here, right? I think if you're a newer CC and you finally found this niche that you're finding success in, that it could be scary to go against a corporation, right? But, like, sometimes you just have to say, fuck it, right? Like, because I'm not, at the end of the day, I'm not going to fucking knock someone if they're doing shit for money, right? If they're getting money out of it, and if they got a contract that says they can't say anything negative about it, you know what? If it's paying the bills, you know, like, I wouldn't agree to that, but they chose to, so, like, I'm not going to shit on them for it, but it is, like, you know, if you're a newer content creator, I wouldn't, like, completely knock on them for it. It's how they found success.
And explained why even people who could not care less about the idea
Could be a nice gamble too. They could pop off too by speaking the truth. Yeah, but so as someone who took sponsors that didn't pay anything and did shit for free when I was a new content creator, sometimes as a new content creator, you just don't know anything. You're just clueless. There's no playbook. There's no guide on what to do, right? And you might find yourself as a new content creator popping off with Infinity Nikki, and you're like, oh shit, like, do I say something? It might be controversial. Like, it might put me in hot waters with the company. And like, they might just find themselves in a position where they don't know what to do. So like, I'm not gonna knock on new CCs. Like, if you're an old veteran CC, then yeah, you should know what you're fucking doing. But like, if you're a newer CC, like, it's whatever, right? You do negative income streams instead, now fuck you.
of dress up might have actually enjoyed large parts of the game. But I would have felt uncomfortable covering this game at all anymore without making this video first. Personally, I don't see this as spreading negativity. It's about spreading awareness. It's vital to be
When I
unbiased
paid
and objective in our
$30 for an
favorite
account
game.
review.
20 months already? Damn.
Oh, is
Feet
that
and
Mr. Poke?
Forster supremacy.
I think Mr. Poke has paid account reviews, but no, I wouldn't pay fucking money for account reviews, bro. Like, I mean, I don't really do account reviews anymore, but like, man. Because like, I feel like most account reviews could be done like real quick. Unless you're doing like a full-on in-depth. And the thing with, I think, a lot of account reviews, I think just like if you take a moment. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, it's two things, right? I think the majority of people who want account reviews don't actually care about getting their account reviewed. They just like being on the screen, and they just like the attention. And if that's what they're going for, and they're willing to pay for it, fuck it, you know? It is what it is. And the second part is, I think 99% of what you need to do to fix your fucking accounts in gacha games is like researchable in 5 minutes just watching any fucking YouTube video, right? So if you really care to fix your account, you don't need to pay anybody to do it for you. You can fucking do it yourself. So, yeah. This is why I stopped doing account reviews. Most account reviews just felt like either flexers or like they clearly know what they're fucking doing, but they just wanted me to fucking look at their account. And it's just, you know.
And it's important to demand better treatment and the respect we deserve. If I end up getting kicked out of the program because of this, or even locked out of future
I think if she
opportunities,
gets
then
kicked
that
out,
would speak volumes. After all,
yeah,
if we want the
if Infinity Nikki kick her out of the program, I feel like they're just shooting themselves in the foot. Cause like, brother, this video has 511,000 views. She got her name out there. So many people know this video, and if they kicked her out, like there would be backlash. It's like, oh, they're against like honest opinions and freedom of speech, right?
the game to survive, they need to fix this. Happy players become happy spenders if they can. If we care about the future of this game, the last thing we should do is keep silent. As to Infolt's response so far, well, you've seen a little preview of it already in how they handled the calls for boy or girl cut. They posted an apology letter on Twitter, which started off,
Oh, there was an apology letter? Hold up. Oh, here it is. Apology letter. Sad duck crying picture. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. That's not a letter. That's a fucking essay. All right. Dear stylist, hope this message finds you well. First and foremost, we would like to extend our sincerest apology. We are truly sorry that we were unable to provide you with a stable experience upon the release of the new version. We understand that every stylist's love and trust in Infinity Nikki is something we must cherish and uphold with the utmost dedication. Would you be saying this if you weren't getting cooked? With the desire to offer Nikki and all of you a more vibrant and colorful journey, we have planned various new content for this update. Designing outfits in diverse styles, creating fun and engaging gameplay, and crafting unique landscapes. We hope Nikki could embark on thrilling adventures across parallel worlds, discovering endless surprises and joy in Mirrorland. However, this time we fell short of expectations. Following the version update, we received a lot of feedback regarding game experience issues, primarily concerning the DIY shop, a workshop, co-op feature, and overall game performance, including issues such as login failures, crashes, and resolution problems. We have been carefully collecting each report and immediately working with our team to address these issues. We sincerely apologize for the issues that disrupted Nikki's dazzling and dreamlike journey. Following an urgent review. Okay, so they're just talking about bugs. How about the monetization? Okay, here we go. Additional clarification based on community feedback. Number of pieces of the 5-star outfit, Snowy Ballad, and Crimson Feather. In version 1.5, the apology letter was before everyone realized about the story change. It was a couple days after the patch dropped. Oh, so there isn't like a new one. This is like an outdated one. They never said anything after this. I think this is addressing the number of pieces on the new gacha outfit, right? Introduce multiplayer gameplay to create a richer, more engaging adventure for Nikki and all stylists. This idea also shaped the design direction of the new outfits. From the early design stage, we intended the 5-star outfits to embody themes of collaboration and companionship, symbolized by the story of the ever-blazing bird sacrificing herself to save the iceborne mermaid. Thus, we introduced the dedicated dynamic effects, transformation animation, and unique music compositions for these outfits. What the fuck does any of this have to do with adding an extra fucking piece to the outfit? In Snowy Ballad, we introduced highly dynamic special effects for the pieces and special aurora effects for the hair. The Crimson Feather outfit was designed around the core concept of rebirth, featuring a unique ash form appearance and different transformation effects depending on whether Nikki is in the air or the ground. In addition to align with the theme of the new version, we introduced multiplayer features in the design of both the... Okay, so they're basically saying the outfit is like more juiced up than other outfits. Is it actually? It's AI? Moderately confident. It is. That is real. Okay, if it is, are you saying it is AI generator or the outfit is more spruced up? The new outfits? Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay, so they're saying it is more spruced up, so that's their excuse as to why it has an additional item. To enrich styling combinations, the total number of pieces for these outfits was set at 11. We sincerely apologize for the lack of prior communication. Moving forward, we guarantee that the number of pieces in 5-star outfits will not exceed 11. So they can never make 12, huh? I mean, we'll see. It's like, if the skin, if the outfit is more spruced up and is cooler, then like, they're trying to say it's worth more. But this kind of feels like League of Legends and how they pushed some fucking skins and then they just like added more and more shit. They're like barely that much better, but it's like, oh, it's a little bit better. So like, it now costs $300 for the skins. Like, I don't know. Yeah, they limit tested. True, they were limit testing. If the player base didn't bitch about 11, they would have gone to 12. And then if they bitched at 12, we'd be like, okay, all right, that's it. No, we're not going beyond 12. This is it. And then if they didn't bitch at 12, they would have gone to 13, 14, 15. Yeah, they're actually limit testing. Oh boy.
Apology letter on Twitter, which started off with a statement of their vision for the new direction of the game and an acknowledgement that they fell short of expectations.
It cost more because of a pair of socks, bro. Yeah, but like some of the people in chat that actually play the game are saying that, kind of like the Twitter post is implying, the new outfits that have the 11 pieces, it's not just about the socks. The outfit itself seems to have a lot of varying new effects that weren't in previous outfits. So like the logic here is that it's like a more premium skin. It's like, think about a League of Legends skin. It's like a legendary skin and an ultimate skin, right? That's the difference, is what they're trying to say, and that's why it has one extra piece to warrant that extra cost.
They recognized the issues with performance and crashes and mentioned that their teams have been working immediately to address the issues. They mentioned fixing over 100 bugs so far, including a list of
Me personally, I think it's just like they got caught and they were limit testing how much they could be greedy with the items, and then they were like, all right, 11, that's it, no more. I don't know. Like in a hypothetical alternate universe, I believe if the player base didn't bitch, they probably would have had another 12 item outfit in like a year, or like in like 6 months for like anniversary or something.
Several important ones, along with another list of others which will be high priority in the next few days.
Well,
then they clarified a few things. The one which many people cared about the most was the increase to the max pity on the banners, and here they started off with a long justification for why they did this, followed by an apology that they didn't announce the change before making it. They guaranteed that new 5-star outfits will not exceed 11 items, and any future changes will be communicated in advance. They then announced the tweak to the Mirror Crown endgame mode, confirming that the mode will now reset on the 1st and 16th of every month. For the dying feature, they simply stated
they ran back the 3-week reset on the rotating game mode back to 2, which I don't know how anybody thought it was smart to fucking do that. Like, any other game, chat, that we play currently, if a rotating game mode gets extended, what do we usually get? We get another rotating game mode that makes up for that discrepancy, right? That's how the other games do it. Infinity Nikki just did that without giving them another one. So it's just like, you just get less. It's like, what? How? Like, this is what I'm saying. How did anybody in the fucking dev team think this was good? It just makes no sense.
They're working on a more advanced feature in the future, which includes further customization options and richer visual effects. They gave out the traditional gachapology reward, 10 limited pulls, 10 standard pulls, and 10 pulls worth of currency, and finished off with a hopeful message asking for a one more chance. All of this was
wait, did they? Finally, we would like to speak from the heart. Version 1.5 marks a major milestone for Infinity Nikki. In this version, we took a bold step forward. Yeah, you took a bold step forward. You're trying to see how far you could step forward on the player base. Introducing co-op gameplay for the first time. We hope Nikki's journey can now stretch even further across the vast sea of stars, where every heart longing for warmth can find connection and companionship. Every member of our team shares the same deep love for the Nikki IP and treats every version update with the utmost care and commitment. We stand together with all our stylists. We may have yet to build a world that fully lives up to your expectations, but we have never stopped running forward because to us, Infinity Nikki has always been more than just a game. It is a dream built over 5 years. Wow, this game was... okay. From thousands... I haven't heard of Infinity Nikki until like the past year. Like, 5 years, damn. Were there actually like sneak peeks on this? From thousands of sketches and endless passion. Like many of you, we adjust the camera angles again and again to capture Nikki's perfect moments, and we cheer with joy at the beauty of each new outfit. These are not empty words. We have always held tightly to the original dream and passion, to make Infinity Nikki a world worth staying in. That has always been and will always be our reason for loving this world. Thank you once again for your support. We know there is still much for us to improve, but because of your companionship, Nikki's journey can continue to push the boundaries of imagination. Please give us one more chance. Wow, they actually did say that. Please give us one more chance to let Nikki's starlight continue to shine for us all and keep the warmth in our hearts forever burning bright. Sincerely, Infinity Nikki Dev Team. I've actually never heard these words given in any gacha, like apology or compensation. Please give us another chance. Oh no. Okay. When are apologies worth a shit? I think all apologies are worth something, right? But it's like depends on like what you did that makes the apology less welcome, right? Obviously it's on the players to receive the apology, but like sometimes when you do something so fucking pig-like, some people are just not gonna accept it because it's like, what the fuck was this? Like, it just kind of is ridiculous to me that this actually did get greenlit. Like a lot of these changes, which is like worrying for the future. They could totally greenlight another dog shit patch like this, right? There's nothing stopping them. But like there's like, and then you could think like the very optimistic way, glass half full. It's like, okay, this was the lesson. They learned their lesson. Now they'll never do it again, right? That's the glass half full thought. But like, you know, I think generally people are very pessimistic in most things in life, right? So if you think pessimistically, this could be just the first time and it could happen again, right? So it's up to you how you think it. I mean, generally, I hope developers improve from their mistakes. So like surely Infinity Nikki won't make this crazy of a mistake again. But this is an insane amount of blunders in a fucking single patch. After everyone realized the story change and the whole boycott actually started, they haven't said anything. I really hope by the time 1.6 is here. Yeah, so like what Angelina and like a bunch of the Infinity Nikki players are saying in chat is, this was on the 8th. This was 4 days ago. And after this post, the whole like Redcon story thing became more widely spread and they like understood how ridiculous the what they're doing is. For the past 4 days since that apology, they haven't posted shit. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see.
Sadly, unsatisfactory. The part about the 5-star outfits was the worst offender. The way they worded it seemed conciliatory, but if you actually read what they said, it confirms that the outfits with 11 items are here to stay, and that if they feel like going further in the future, all they said they'll do is tell us first. They did not reference what people actually want them to do.
Well, technically, they did say it won't go above 11. They did say it won't go above 11. So if they do go above 11, that's when they're like full on just lying. So
to fix this. Guarantee that regardless of how many items an outfit contains, it will never require more than 180 pulls to complete. Sadly, it looks like this won't happen. The other part skirted the point as well. The Mirror Crown announcement had no acknowledgement that this is a reduction in player rewards compared to how things worked previously.
Oh, the apology was from April? It's been 2 weeks, not 4 days? Oh, shit. Did I misread the date on the apology? Oh my god, this shit's from April 29th. What the hell? Never mind, it has been 2 weeks. What the fuck? Okay, damn. Holy fuck. Ooh.
And the dying feature statement is irrelevant to the actual problems people have with the way it's currently structured. This was a non-apology which does not address the actual issues people have. I do not expect much from gacha companies, but even I'm disappointed. I'm still willing to give them another chance, but only if they actually address all of our concerns. It's worth noting that the kinds of decisions which have torpedoed this update are generally not in the hands of the developers, and instead are controlled entirely by executives. The developers, meanwhile, will be working overtime to fix the issues which were likely caused by this gigantic change in direction. They're victims of this as much as the players are. Most of the bugs I've encountered personally have been fixed now that we're a week or so from the update, and from a technical perspective, they're cleaning up the mess. It's now up to the executives to decide whether they care enough to clear up the rest. I love this game with my entire heart. To me,
cool.
Infinity Nikki has been a perfect game from day one, catering to all my needs for cozy magical world that lets me escape from all the stress and worries of real life, and an outlet for creativity with putting together gorgeous outfits and organizing beautiful photo shoots. I want this game to continue being successful, and it breaks my heart to see them seemingly throw away all that they had built. The question which echoes inside my head is why? Predatory mechanics are par for the course in any gacha game, but the speed at which they're making them worse is shocking.
That's exactly what I said. It's like, I understand if they did like 1 or 2 predatory things in one patch, but they did the whole fucking, they did the goddamn 9-course meal of predatory shit. They did like everything top to bottom. They're like, okay, they're like, someone in the executive team was like, they had a check mark. They're like, okay, so all right, we need to make costumes cost more. We need to make the customization that they were all excited for cost more. Yup, okay. And oh, what, free-to-play economy? Fuck that as well. Let's do it top to bottom, everything. We want to fuck everything. Like, that's rare. You rarely get a patch where like the developers decide to do everything wrong, which is like, I don't know, man. That's crazy.
While the bugs are an unfortunate and inexplicable own goal, at least they're fixing those. But why would a company take a successful story with a thriving community who love it and just delete the whole damn thing? So far,
that's actually the best question, honestly. Because, like, there's nothing really they would gain monetarily from retconning, right? Unless, yeah, like, that's the one part that doesn't make sense. Because everything else that they did makes sense because, or it makes sense in terms of a greedy aspect where like they wanted to print money, but the retconning of the story doesn't really make sense. Why did they do that? Oh no, what does retconning mean? Basically it means that everything prior is just basically nonsense and you change, like, let me get the official definition of retcon, but it's basically like if something was true before a certain point, if it's been retconned, it's no longer true. And it's like basically everything is like, the way she explained it is everything that Nikki has done up until this patch is no longer fucking relevant anymore, right? The retcon is a piece of new information that imposes a different interpretation on previously described events. Yeah, so you learn something new that, so essentially what she says here is that Nikki meets this new fucking goddess out of nowhere that tells her everything she's experienced was just amnesiac dream and it was all nonsense, and that she's just an amnesiac spacefarer that can travel between multiple dimensions and she's immortal. So it's like, okay, what? Why did they do that? I don't know. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Easier to make more slop stories in perpetuity with the retcon, probably. You could say that, right? Maybe they wanted to create a multiverse in which they could literally just create really, really low effort stories to just plug and play whenever they needed for a patch. Whereas if they went with the previous storyline, it might have been more effort to continue to make a seamless and continual story, right? It could be that, right? Because one of the things with multiverse, chat, you have to agree, one of the things with multiverse is a lot of platforms or like stories use multiverse as an excuse to fill up holes that they create. Like, if I think of Marvel, right? Multiverse, even with DC, with the Flashpoint and all those fucking, like, multiverse is an easy out for a lot of situations. It changes in the story, by the way. Old and new tutorial with rants and new theories. Old started off in the attic of Nikki's own world. Nikki's mommy lore removed. New started off somewhere unknown and proceed with the Sea of Stars intro. Anna's first appearance in Chains. Anna's first appearance. What the fuck? Wait, this shit ass. What the fuck is this? She's like a hologram now? Here's Anna's calling before seeing her, asking her to go to her chamber. Anna asks Nikki to go to the edge of the border before walking away. Nikki and Momo no longer in red miracle outfit. Anna in the temple. Anna stands outside the temple. Wait, this is kind of shit. The nice part about the old tutorial was that you got to get a taste of like a really pretty outfit. Now they just put her in the basic NPC thing. Cause like, chat, think about it. You play a lot of games, a lot of MMOs, a lot of even single player games. In the beginning, if it's like, there are a lot of games that start you out with in a position of power where you're wearing some cool ass outfits, cool ass armor, and have like lots of abilities. And then boom, you get set back to like 0 and you're just like weak now, right? Like I felt like that's what Nikki was doing with like their old tutorial in terms of that feel. But like now they just like removed it entirely. Yeah, Wukong's another great example. And I talked about her being imprisoned here while in chains. Anna just talks casually about her being imprisoned here after the heaven fall. Cutscene of Anna giving the Heart of Infinity to Nikki. Anna just briefly mentioned she gave the heart to her. Bro, what? Did they run out of budget for the fucking animation for in the tutorial or something? They just talk now? Tells Nikki that she's going to Mirrorland while Anna just casually tells Nikki to go to the wish field in Mirrorland. Why did they just remove this entire cutscene? What the hell? Now you don't even get the Momo wake up scene? You just teleport right to the... Okay, damn. What the fuck? Yeah, I don't know, man. This new intro's kind of dog shit. What the hell is that? Oh, God. That's some stupid fucking shit. At least it's not a black screen and text yet. They might be going... Well, I think it's arguably worse than black screen and text, chat. You want to know why? Hear me out. The reason I think it's worse than black screen and text is this. Because I think at this current point with HSR, we are so used to black screens and text, yeah? It could only get better. They can't get worse. The thing with Infinity Nikki is they gave a taste of what's good, and they took it away, and now you just have fucking standing NPCs. It feels always worse when you get a taste of something good, and then you lose that, versus just getting a taste of shit all the time, and then it gets better, right? Surely. That initial cutscene was gorgeous. Yeah, I know. I played it. I literally was sponsored to fucking play Infinity Nikki. That first tutorial was really fucking good. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were cooking on that, man. That shit's fucking stupid.